My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Vault of the Void. I think I'm gonna jump back in at hard for another rotation here. Part of the reason being that, well, my butt got kicked straight off by the Daughter of the Void, and in the Hidden and the Enlightened each, it felt like I had some sort of over-prevailing carrying strat. So it feels like I haven't necessarily learned what gets us through hard. All I've learned is how to exploit a couple specific things in the Hidden and the Enlightened. So I think I'm going to jump back into the Hidden here with the Blade deck. This is the one that we did the pre-tutorial with. Slash, block, quickness, underhanded tactics. Yes, all look similar. I mean, the text looks different on them, but they're all the same. There's also... okay, so it's no longer ability the Hidden Swift. It now just has the ability tag and Swift, and the Hidden is, I imagine, this little archetype symbol up here. Alright, let's jump in. Seen this class before, so I'm not necessarily going to be reading every single thing that happens to appear. Stealth. This turn, your threat stack won't trigger. Expel. And then you've got Purge, delayed block 6. Your threat stack won't trigger this turn. Does that just mean that it triggers next turn? Like, does the threat just remain there? Won't trigger. So then I just have to block it on a later turn? Duck and Weave. Ooh. Block 12, Sift 1. Discard a card from the deck. There's also a sidestep here. Love seeing that. Bide and a Shield Bash. Bide, I mean, look, we are in a deck that does have the ability to utilize combo pretty effectively. And in fact, especially if we take that Dueling Buckler. Okay, so we got the Death Knight Champion over here. I gotta remember not to play a bunch of defense against you. Did that last time. The Void will spawn with one less Frenzy. That seems hugely significant. During the Void fight, the first card played, again, we'll look for possible buffs that'll hit on. The first 2 cards played will trigger +1 times. Hang on. The first card played each turn costs 2 less. Oh, right. Sorry. This is the other one that I meant. This is for buffs. And then start the next round with a random potion. Probably not really going to be doing that here. Gain 1 random Void Stone or a random common artifact. Random common artifacts can be pretty good. That said, random Void Stone. Ooh, both of them got Sift. Interesting. Wait, no, they didn't both get Sift. We got Yellow Voidstone as well. Okay, that seems more understandable. Let's get a Shield Bash, Bide, Quicken Weave, and Dueling Buckler, and Sidestep into the deck, and then I'm going to cut Parry, 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 and Parry. Now, cards that I am going to trigger multiple times due to having combo when the Swift card is played will be able to trigger the Voidstone multiple times they're over, unless they say inert, like the Dueling Buckler, because the inert keyword says that when a card with inert triggers multiple times, the Voidstone will only trigger on the first and then becomes disabled for the rest of the turn. And that's important because it means that I can't just, like, make the Dueling Buckler ridiculous with the Voidstone, have a 9 block per combo points kind of effect there that doesn't even consume our combo. At that rate, we might even have been justified drafting non-Swift attacks and literally just stacking combo 3 and having a Dueling Buckler in the deck. Like, it would be that amount of a defense. Blue Voidstone, though. Underhanded Tactics feels pretty good to put the Yellow Voidstone on, actually. It will often be the target of my Swift, so that I can try and get the giant amounts of weaken and vulnerability off on targets. That said, I cannot remove these as this character. I know I can remove them as the daughter. I keep forgetting to do so. I'll do so in the next episode with the daughter. But I cannot remove these Voidstones as this character. So if I'm not entirely certain that's where I want them to be, maybe I just move ahead. See where else I can get to. There's Concentrate, Underhanded tactics as well. For the throat, probably don't really want to go for bleed. There's another dueling buckler down there. Love the idea of going for that. So already I'm thinking like, that's not a bad path. We do miss out on that treasure. But there's no path I can get to. Wait. Actually. No, there's no. Yeah, there's no path I can get to that'll get that treasure as well as this dueling buckler and the upgrade down here. So I'll take those. Backpedal, deal 3 damage, shift, rebound. Is sifting my deck going to be important? Because if I find sifting my deck is going to be important, then that backpedal is actually great. I just put a block in it, and then every turn I play it for 6 damage and 4 block, and I sift 1 card. Gets back in the hand, we do it again next turn. I mean, look, it's not the top or the bottom on that one anyway, right? So, well, I mean, it could be if I wanted to approach to be able to go up in some fashion like that. And in fact, that's not entirely unlikely. Response. Start of your turn, you'll gain 1 hidden blade for each creature planning an attack action. Upgrades to give you 2 hidden blades for each creature planning an attack action. I would love to make this a hidden blade deck. I would very much relish the opportunity. Scattershot, deal 4 damage to all enemies. Inflict bleed to all enemies as well. Okay, good. Got some AoE on that one. Defensive attack, that is a heavier block. Of course, it's not a swift. It's not a swift either. Oh, swift hand. This turn, all swift attack cards rather trigger multiple times. That and response together. And this draws 1 on the upgrade as well, and you know I'm addicted to draw. These, okay. Well, I think the start of our path is already easily decided. There's another dueling buckler. Okay, yeah, so it's down, up, up, up. The reason I have to go there is because if I then went to this room and then tried to go down, I would lock off this cursed item, so I have to loop around in this way, then I get to go to that void stone, take this elite, take this mob room, this elite. I'll reassess my path if I'm feeling really weak by that point, but I'd be very, very surprised if I felt weak by that point. We'll just go for the extra bleeded out. If nothing else, that's more runic power for the sake of getting more void stones into the deck later. Thinning out, expel the top 2 cards of your deck. Upgrades to just expel itself. No, it's not the top 2 cards of your deck. It's 2 cards from your deck. Okay, wait, this is actually really good. Wow, I'm gonna like intentionally specifically path into that one as well. Take that, go down, across. That's already going to be, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna red out the path that we're not gonna be able to go. Right. Looks good to me. I really, really ought to need upgrades before I go for the throat cutters. Okay. There is a way to kill 2 of them this turn. Additional times equal to your swift. So it's, we slash the throat cutter. We get the ghost blade. We play double quickness, getting up to 3 in the combo stack. We use this hidden blade to kill you, and then the slash to kill the midline. Good turn right there. Ooh, we've also got the Black Void Stone being our first coming up. Love to see that. See now Forsaken Puppies. Yep. Should be much the same, ideally. Maybe not. I'm not going to be able to kill the Hellmongrel this turn. Quickness, use the volatile. I mean, I guess, yeah, that is the most damage I can do. So it's quickness, use the volatile, pull that out, and then swift this card. Okay, never mind. We can't do 24 damage that turn. We've got incoming damage of 0, so I've effectively got a free turn to hit them back here. Dueling Buckler sidestep. I mean, neither of those are necessary, so let's just get the easy kill on that turn, then swift there, take the 3 damage, use the Dueling Buckler to get rid of it, drop the sidestep, and then we should just be able to kill next turn. Yeah. We get an upgrade point as well as a health potion. That health potion really ought not be underestimated in terms of the value it's going to provide for us. The amount of cards that we really need to be upgrading here is kind of wild. Delay block 6 on that upgrade. I want the quicknesses. I really, really, really want the quicknesses upgraded. I want sidestep upgraded as well. Both of those upgrade effectively just for +1 energy, right? I also want to upgrade the dueling, but God, we have so much upgrade debt already. Treasure Goblin. Okay. Yes, I did almost accidentally say Groblin there. What's your point? Sometimes you call something a Groblin accidentally. Don't say you've never done it. Now, I recognize it's a thing that almost no one has ever done, but please, at least say you have so I don't feel so bad. I know you're a goblin, I'm sorry. Let's get the other quickness. I'm gonna go for all of the energy cost ones at the moment because I've chunked up my deck with a couple of high cost defends in the Bide. Yeah, in the Bide and the shield block. Or shield bash, rather. Voidling, love this response. Also got to upgrade it because it becomes twice as effective. This is an easy one. So yours is for every 4 cards we play this turn. Okay, yeah, so you're just going to be able to benefit off of that. It doesn't make sense for me to ignore as much damage as I can do that turn, right? It's 2/3 of the enemy's HP. More, sorry, 1/3 of the enemy's HP. More than that. Okay. Slash quickness. Purge the parry. 18 incoming, so this dueling buckler is only going to defend us for 9 and then uses sidestep. So that's 10, 9, 19. Sidestep. Dueling buckler. There's our full block. Use a volatile first and then slash. Drop another card. Without vulnerability set up on the enemy, we're feeling pretty bad actually right now. Wow. You shorted my draw. Rude. Thankfully, the next 2 cards in my deck are extremely defensive. Yeah. I'm just going to hold Bite in hand if I don't need to use it here. Looks like I probably don't. Yeah, we've got 40 incoming damage, but I am guaranteed to draw lethal this turn. Yeah. It'd look a lot like this. There's the response. How about you, cursed item? If you end your turn with 0 energy, gain overcharge. Do we have any reason not to want extra energy and overcharge? I cannot imagine one right now. It's good for the sidestep, if nothing else. Firstly, Piranha, bleed it out. Trigger creatures bleed. They get stronger when inflicted with debuffs or when their allies die. Take care of which I target and when. I don't really have any AoE left in the deck or anything like that. I can't drop both of these defense in the opening hand. I'm gonna need to keep some. Because, like, right now, I'm holding basically all of my defensive cards. Like, all. The entire set of them, I mean. Thanks for making me vulnerable. Okay. Dueling Buckler, drop the sidestep. Pop out the shield bash on a target that's attacking next turn. It gets Frenzy. Ultimately, I need to kill 2 of them on the same turn. Can I just accept a bunch of damage to try and kill 2 of them on the same turn there? I think I did. That was not good. That was I've had better plays. Ouch. Yeah, I've definitely had significantly better plays than that. I knew that all of my defense was behind me, and yet I still made that play. That was not well done on my part. I'm not gonna belabor the point as much as I've already belabored it. Purple and green, purple and green, purple and green, purple and green. I mean, hang on. This response is not in our opening hand yet. I could totally see the value of taking green Voidstone here. Purple Voidstone, probably not, though. So green reroll. Yellow. Love it. Skeleton Mage. Anytime you sub-damage, the creature will increase its frenzy, can remove debuffs, but won't attack whilst doing so. This is, yeah, it's just the one Skeleton Mage on the field, if I recall correctly here. Pre-fight preparation, I'm actually going to pop the Health Potion sooner rather than later. The thing is, like a response where I have 4, like, imagine a response where I also have the Ghost Inert Void in it, and then I just dupe that, and then I have 4 volatile hidden blades for each enemy creature that is playing the attack action. And then literally I just kill them with those, right? Build up some stack. Oh my god. God, that feels like a good idea now. This feels like a really good idea. It feels irresponsible of me not to consider that idea at least. It costs so much energy on the turn that I do it. But what have I been doing in this deck so far other than stacking extra energy in? Sidestep's pretty good with the ghost too. So's quickness. Just get double combo with a single ability. 0 costs are pretty good with it. As are rare cards. As you don't often get copies of that seem very, very impactful. If I set up response, do I have to take damage on that turn? I'm making it a response deck. I'm cutting a parry. I'm going to drop one of the Void Stones on for the throat, maybe. The ability to apply a lot of bleed. I may end up removing that later is the thing, though. Quickness in the opening hand isn't bad. I could rig quickness pretty happily. Duck and Weave. Shields, Bash, Bide. Certainly none of those. Look, I've got other things I'm going to ghost eventually anyway, so fine. Quickness can actually get the rage in it. It could go in one of the slashes, but I feel like if I am going to be going for the volatile blade strats, I may end up cutting all of the swift attacks from this deck, which is why I'm also hesitant to upgrade either the underhanded strike or the for the throat here. Block and Weave could literally just be 1 energy, block 16, sift 1 after an upgrade. That just seems like a card that I leave in the deck, right? Same with Shield Lash for vulnerable 2 and block 19. 19 matters. First time you gain combo, each turn, gain 1 combo. Yes. Yes, please. Oh my god, the enemy is planning an attack action. Okay. Swift. Combo up. And there we go. We got 3 combo. I'm going to do 32 damage and apply 3 weak. It is crucial I don't take damage early on in this fight, lest the enemy increase their AP, but I don't want to hold that real bad defend right there, just hoping it'll happen to be relevant, you know? Slash, duck and weave, drop that void. Might as well go for the Ghost Blade there. Dueling Buckler is still valuable. that. And then the quickness. Do I need sidestep in the next hand? I've got shield bash almost certainly being drawn, and also it's not an attacking turn. I'm gonna... Wait, hang on. Do you need to be bled? Removes all debuffs and gains 1 AP. So yeah, for the throat right now does nothing. Enemy was about to remove all the debuffs anyway. Okay, their ability at the moment is Confuse. You suffer Confusion 1, then the enemy attacks with Frenzy 1. Confusion again is all cards increase their energy cost by 1. Yeah, that's not great. I got block for it next turn, though. Fine. Give me 2 volatile blades. Every turn, please. Why do they have to be high cost? Okay. The sidestep and then heavy weaken the enemy. Use quickness. There's not a huge amount of defense left in that deck. Okay, I gotta hold on to the dueling buckler here, I think. We held on to it. 3 incoming damage this turn. Ah, confusion! Stop confusing me! Oh, it's so rude. It's very important to me you don't do that. Slash. Enemy's not removing the thing this turn yet. Actually, does that help me? No, I want to perfect the fight. It's okay. Yeah, it was okay. There's the swift hands. I mean... need the upgrade on the power that I already have in the deck. Dragon Quelpling. The creature can inflict burning, may attack multiple times with high frenzy, 1,000 cuts. I have no slows in the deck at the moment. I have not great access to weakens. So I should keep an eye on each of those. I wouldn't be surprised to try and burn the void right now. Are we going to be in the fight that long? Maybe not. I'm going to save my energy then. Oh, my hand didn't contain a bane, so thankfully I didn't suffer the vulnerable 2 that the enemy was about to inflict her. Getting very defensive hands early here, which is actually kind of making me scared. Burning is inflicted. I kind of want to burn both of these cards to try and remove it, but also both of these cards next turn would be very helpful. In terms of removing all the damage the enemy has dealt to me. There we go. I say all the damage, it's still only, you know, most of it. There's the final one to try and control the burning a little bit. Gosh. Yeah, that's some damage right there. We've got our response blades up. Unfortunately, we are starting to get hit here consistently. Alright, I'm gonna go with the quickness. About a quick blade and a for the throat for as much bleed as I can get out on the field. Another quickness. Guess I've caught the 11 here. Ouch. One card discard. I mean, we're already fully blocked just by that sidestep. What's our combo at the moment? 1 out of 3. So playing that bide would get us up to full combo. So if I'm playing the bide to get up to full combo, that's fine. Right? Then we double Hidden Blade, weaken the enemy, and set ourselves up for lethal easily next turn. Great. Both of these fights so far that I've taken damage in have cost me 33 HP. Weird one, that one. Response is now double as effective. The Unholy Beast gets stronger every single turn. Do I have anything that hates... Oh, yeah, Swift Hand's really good. All Swift attack cards trigger +1 times. Is it really good? Kind of like +1 combo for all of the response cards. And I guess for things like Underhanded Tactics. In fact, I'll drop a slash for another Underhanded Tactics. And a parry for dueling. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get that slash back in there. Yeah. Underhanded Tactics with the yellow Voidstone now feels a lot better with the Swift Hands in the deck. Swift Hands also kind of wants the green Voidstone, though. Upgrades to draw. It could also use the blue Voidstone so that I can kind of curate afterwards. It could also use a red Voidstone. It could use any of them, frankly. I'm cutting a parry here. So the idea is that I'm going to try and defend in this fight very little, but kill very quickly. So here's a choice. Dragon Egg. It's an egg. Definitely an egg. However, I've taken this a couple times trying to see what happens with it, and I've never really noticed anything happen with it. And there's the Fractal Feather. Each time you play a card with the same name as a card you've already played this turn, block 3. So I generate 4 Volatile Blades, sometimes, when one enemy's attacking. If more enemies are attacking, up to 12, maybe? All of them except for the first one, blocks for 3. Seems pretty good. Oh my god. Do I keep Swift Hand? No. No, we do exactly that. And then next turn I generate a Volatile Blade, so I get the 3 block on the next turn as well. Great, great, great. Okay. First things first. I'm gonna bide. Now that was not actually for the block, it was literally just for the 1 point of combo. Cool. I think we built a Hidden Blade deck. There's your Frenzied Charge. Pop 2 Dazed into the deck. How rude of you. Thankfully you... Oh, come on, please attack. Thank you. I needed you to attack so I could be able to defend. My defense relies on you hitting me. God, that was a good fight. I think that's real indicative of how powerful we actually are at the moment. I do apologize about any slight degradation in audio quality for the next couple minutes. I'm just quickly cycling the air conditioner in my room because it is very warm. I only realized when the sweat started running back down my forehead and across my nose. No, we're starting to get back to Australian summer. I know it's spring, but we're getting there. And Australia doesn't really have spring as much as we have the extremely hot and muggy periods. And then winter, which is just fine. It's tolerably cold. Definitely getting back to that first part of it rather now. So what can I do? Oh, I can actually get a pretty large underhanded tactics out. I feel pretty good about that. That's not the order in which I was supposed to play those. Well, I completely messed that up. That's my bad. We only have 7 incoming damage next turn. I need to find a way to get the shield bash. Is that gonna be enough? It's not enough. Sutan, that's enough. It's fine. Look, I don't need to do the thing I was originally gonna say, which is just get that power out as quickly as possible. Blah, move on from there. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, here's an interesting one. Purge the Bide, play the sidestep, play the response, double purge these, play the response. I'm definitely happy to do that, unless they both decide not to attack next turn. But if they do both decide to attack next turn, I'll suddenly look like a big old brain genius right here. As opposed to all of the other avenues of genius. I'm blocking for 3, and I'm hitting for... blocking for 3 and taking the 3 damage as well at the same time. Got another health potion there as well. Good. That's going to help our anti-attrition. Opening move, attack heavy. The Hidden Blade. Like, literally just put a Hidden Blade in the deck. Probably not that. Inflict 5 damage. Opener rebound. Attack swifts. Upgrades. Wow, that upgrades to be 0 cost. That's actually not bad. Why isn't that bad? Well, it's because that, like, if in that Unrelenting, it's 0 cost, we use it at, well, no, am I going to start? I do start my turn out with a lot of combo often, but then I don't want to play as the opener. Look, I don't need the ability to exploit extra gems in that way. I'm going to take a Hidden Blade. Probably don't need it. Definitely don't need it, in fact, but I'll take it. It's here, and, ooh, and... oh my god, if you upgrade this, it removes a nerd and it keeps balance. So it's like, it's basically like the other thing I was just talking about, but it actually will provide us repeated stacks of block, or as the case may be, probably rage. This could be our rage chunk easily. The dueling bucklers are starting to feel bad. As in, it's starting to feel like I don't need them. It's probably a preemptive call right there. I'm actually going to upgrade that Hidden Blade and put it into the deck. Wow, this is exciting. I could give it blue Void Stones, use it to cycle through my entire deck if I really wanted to, use the yellow Void Stone on it for the block. But really, I do just think I want to put Rage in it and then trigger it 4 times at the start of a turn, getting to 100% Rage, doubling all of my damage for every subsequent attack. Thinning out. What is the value of thinning out to me right now? We choose the cards we expel from the deck. If I can rig this, I can put it in my opening hand and use it to remove Banes. It expels itself the first time it's played, though, so I can't remove Banes like over the course of the fight reliably, at least. Still going for it. Okay, and now I'll turn that off. Thank you very much for your patience through the cycling of the air conditioner. Kind of want to keep the dueling buckler in hand here. Yeah, I'll just use that for the hard block next time. What's it? 9? That's 12 by itself. Wow, I can play this whole hand. And should, in fact. Okay, so that slash already kills you, so I should target someone else first. There you go. 1, 2. Drop both attacks on you. Why are you taking double damage from each of these attacks? Oh yeah, Swift plays +1 times. There we go, we get the kill there as well. Nice. It's actually significantly more impactful than I thought it was going to be. And then the dueling buckler is a decent amount. I'm going to attack one more time with this. Yeah, purge this and then sidestep, full block. And then with 15 health left on the Cinder Howl, we almost certainly ought to be able to get this kill in a single turn here. Yeah, this will do. Get the vulnerability stacked on you, quickness, and then defend myself after the fact. Enemies now bleeding for enough damage to die at the start of the next turn. Great. Jinxed Leprechaun and Redcap. You can be punished for playing a lot of cards in a turn. Now, whether or not they'll have the ability to do that is a completely different fact, right? We can be punished for it, but are they going to be capable of doing that to us? Burning, when another creature dies, it'll increase every 4 you play in a turn, so poison 2. So I can play less than 4, easily. That's fine. In fact, I'll just play 1 there. 20 damage from an underhanded tactics. Could try and set up vulnerability beforehand with the Ghost Blade. Is there any way I can actually prevent Rainbow Pain this turn? Overall damage from a Ghost Blade is 8. 8 plus the vulnerability takes the 20 to a 30, 38 total. We're 20 short. I'm not going to be able to generate another 20 out of these cards in hand. Okay, hard purge. Maybe keep the sidestep. Do exactly that, in fact. Yeah, I misestimated the amount of damage I might have access to this turn. That's not good. Probably shouldn't have played that final attack there either. Okay. I can suffer 8 here. Happily suffer 8 for my mistakes. Wow, my combo is really, really not high, unfortunately, on this turn. Combo, combo. Literally, the 2 combo cards that give us combo are on the bottom of the deck, and then all the cards that benefit from combo are in my hand now. Yikes. Yikes. At least I get these 4. Slash over there. Play out a single quickness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get our kill easily. Wow, decreasing incoming damage, but not enough. As long as we only took 5, I guess that's still okay. Yikes. Well, at least we get an upgrade point out of all of that. Swift Hand does seem good. So do all the dueling bucklers still. Based on the turn that we just had there, certainly. Backpacks out here. Defensive attack. Probably too large. Don't need any of those either. Okay, I do think it's got to be like one of the dueling bucklers or Swift Hand here. Maybe sidestep? going to be one Dueling Buckler. Dark Idol. I could get a generous offering with an uncommon artifact here. Some of those rare artifacts will do nothing for us. 3 voids choking up my draw is really hard to deal with. So what? I'd have to go to 2 shrines next floor, literally just remove all of the voids. That's not impossible. What's in the backpack? Okay, I can't see my potions there, unfortunately. I know I have 1 health potion on me. That makes me feel a little bit better about not needing the anti-attrition of a shrine heal. Your hand size is increased by 1. That's just ridiculously good. It's patently ridiculously good. Energy tap. Significantly better for us, is it not? Gives us the ability to play the responses pretty easily, right? We'll literally use this usually as just a 3 mana buff to play a response out on a turn. I'm taking it. Yeah, another Dueling Buckler. I forgot that's why I had this on the path. I think it's also a upgrade though. Void more, so you do not want me to purge many cards. That is going to be hard to abide by this turn. I'm going to purge many cards this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Response again. And then I'm going to leave the Shield Bash in hand. Next turn, we are going to want to defend. We're also going to want... oh my god, we're going to want all of this. Okay. Okay, hang on. It's Slash, then Quickness... Shield Dash for extra vulnerability. Hidden Blade, and go. Enemy's probably attacking next turn as well. We've only triggered that up by 1. Leave a Slash in the hand. Okay, I can purge this Slash and then attack this girl. I'm not going to purge the Bite, though. I did not find any combo gain here. 1, 2. There were only 2 in here, so it's my fault. I thought it was going to be more likely that I'd hit that than I did. Than it turned out to be, rather. I'm going to purge 2 here too. I think so. Making a bit of space in hand so that I can hopefully draw down to... There we go. Literally just combo gain. Oh, good lord. Okay. Whew, I was worried that I'd spent that all too early. 21 as well. Execution Order. When an enemy is below, or brought below, rather, 50% HP, apply 3 weak and vulnerable to them. There's also the Regal Monocle. When applying a debuff to an enemy not suffering from any debuffs, double its value. That's just extra vulnerability, frankly, for us. Suspicious Blade Oil. For every 7 attack cards you play, draw 1. Is that possibly better than the Execution Order? Now, why is it better than the Execution Order, possibly? It's because I could take the Execution Order by itself, or I could take the Suspicious Blade Oil and a random artifact. And Suspicious Blade Oil is going to be, it's going to be not insignificant draw for us. Now, I've heard there was a discussion shortly in a couple of different comment threads on a couple of the previous episodes talking about kind of the cross-pollination of my addiction to draw in Monster Train and saying that it is something that is demonstrated across the board in deck builders for me. I don't know if that's the case. It's very, very common in Monster Train that I focus on draw. because there are very, very many other ways to mitigate needing capacity or mitigate needing energy, right? In STS, like, I don't just overload the deck with a bunch of draw because then you don't do anything. Now, I understand, yes, I probably overtake it in Monster Train. That is not the discussion I'm having at this point. It was specifically a comment thread that was talking about this being like a constant problem that I face. The reason that doesn't track is because of the differential value of draw in each of these different games. I wouldn't say draw is my playstyle. I would say it's something that I found very valuable in Monster Train, and in particular in this game, draw gives you the ability to get another card in hand, which you can then purge for extra energy. In this game, draw is draw and energy. Draw is much more important here, and therefore much more limited. I'm gonna do it. Random artifact is every third Swift card played will cause all creatures to suffer bleed 2. All of the volatile blades are Swift. This was 100% the correct decision. The Curse Wards, Spirit Wards, and Flame Wards don't attack. They just debuff us consistently, and Swamp Mistress also doesn't really attack that much. I'm worried that I'm not going to get much value out of my my response here. Maybe that's an unfounded concern. They have to attack sometime. Do they? Creature gains AP. I mean, look, they only ever gain AP if they're then going to deal it to me in damage at some point. Probably. Invigorate increases Swamp Mistress's AP by 2. I mean, these fights tend to be pretty quick, so I don't know if I'm going to kill the chumps. In fact, I'm almost certainly not going to. Every third Swift card played will cause all creatures to suffer. Sure. So, if I hold now, I get the overcharge. But do I want underhanded tactics in hand, or do I want to draw? I think I just want to draw deeper into the deck. For every 7 attack cards you play, draw 1. Underhanded tactics now for drawing 1. Wow. Rude. That's a lot of Banes in the deck at the moment. Guess I'm glad at least I drew them both very early. Get rid of that Swift hand. Okay, this turns a lot better. The Swamp Mistress is starting to attack, so the response is starting to feel like a good thing to do because the enemy did that. It's like they did a thing, and then I'm doing this because they did that, but like related to the action that they did specifically. I'm certain there's a better word for it. Anyhow, let's play response. So, not going to defend with the dueling buckler, use the response as the defense. Yeah, that's it. That'll do. Come on, attack. No! Stop cursing me! I need you to hit me. So we sifted past another attack there. Stop cursing! Stop cursing! Just attack! Gosh! Oh, you're so frustrating! Well. We did it. 2 upgrade points. I'm so glad to see that. I was really worried we were going to go through with no upgrade points again this time. I really wish vulnerability increased with the shield bash upgrade there. Swift hand feels good there. Dueling buckler, bide. I might need to start holding things in hand to actually start my combos, rather than purging for energy and such. Opportunist. This is a swift attack as well. Deal 4 damage to all creatures, or 7 if the target is bleeding. So this is... I mean, look, it is not unlikely we make a target bleed before we use Opportunist, right? Because every 3rd swift attack makes all of the enemies on the field bleed. And then this just provides some AoE damage there. I mean, we are kind of lacking AoE damage in this deck. I say kind of, we are just definitely lacking AoE damage in this deck pretty significantly. The upgrade of it is 12? It's like 36? No, wait, 12 place an additional time. So 48 AoE damage? I can't turn that down, can I? Spare a thought for the pathing here. Good lord. Actually, it's great. Block fall, apply bleed 3 to a random enemy. Wounded, that's extra vulnerable. And it's swift. So we can set up vulnerability basically forever. Reinforcements. Gain 3 volatile smash cards. Expel. Rigged. This is rigged, so it goes into the opening hand already. Okay. An opportunist was in the north. Okay, I really want opportunist as the thing though. So like that demands my path looks something like this. And honestly, shops really don't matter past that point. So let's go that way. Right? Gives me the ability to get both shrines, remove 4 voids from the deck, like significantly lower the draw difficulties that I'm having because of those. Also gives me the ability to hit the Disheveled Salesman here at the very end after I have enough artifacts, enough essence to basically buy all of the artifacts, ideally. We got a Soul Collector here where we can spend, hopefully, the resources we manage to accrue over the course of the rest of the floor. We're missing out on anything hugely important. I really like that Wounded, and I'm already missing out on it. Is there anything else on the path that helps me? Swift. If overcharged, draw 1. If overcharged, draw 2! And that's a Swift card. Deals 15 damage. Draw 6, playing a planned strike. God, that's so good. Okay, I'm glad planned strike is on the path. Sleight of hand. When a card is expelled or discarded, inflict 3 damage to a random creature. Upgrades to inflict 5 damage to a random creature. It's worth noting that all of the volatile cards, the volatile cards from response can't be purged, and they are destroyed when played. Does that mean this will trigger? Discarded or expelled? Expel and volatile are different words. I imagine this doesn't work. Although, like in a heavy discard deck, that'd be interesting. Gain 1 energy for the next 3 Swift cards played. That would literally just be a way to, like, energy goose. I'm not totally against considering going there, and then leaving. Apprentice's Blade. Combo 1, gain 2 temporary hidden blades. Draw 1, discard 1. It's 2 cost. It's too expensive for that effect. Yeah, literally the only bad thing is I'm missing out on that wounded right now. And that's okay. You're never going to be able to get all of them, right? I was just checking if Riposte, like, upgraded to become Swift or anything like that, because then, I mean, easy take, right? But definitely not in this case. Veiled Watcher, didn't get the AoE. They become stronger as I draw out weakness cards, which they can give me themselves. They also become vengeful if I don't kill one and follow up on it. Ooh, that actually annoys me a bit. A Swift Hand literally just for the... Really? I just wanted the draw. Now I have to take more damage. Why did I have to put so many weaknesses in this deck, and why didn't I upgrade Bide? I knew Bide was the right choice, and then I just didn't do it for some reason. Why do I feel like I'm going to regret this? There's the enemy's resummon. Okay. Good dueling buckler right there. Can burn both of these, but I almost certainly should have held the Sift. That was my bad. That's my bad. Yeah. Poor choice on my part there. Alright. Dueling Buckler, Quickness. Did those exactly in the wrong order, but it's okay. Oh, God. Game is giving me a lot of second chances for all the mistakes I'm making right now. Thank you, game. I deeply appreciate it. I'm going to be making mistakes for a little bit here at the start, so... I'm glad we're not taking the 96 damage or whatever they were about to do to us. Yikes. That's our perfect fight. Move on to Opportunists. After the Opportunist, we immediately get the ability to upgrade this, right? That is to say, after this fight, we immediately get the ability to upgrade, do we not? I believe so. Wow, we really haven't found a good gem in ages. Really, really need a rage gem right now. 5 Banes are added to your deck. I really don't want that. I might actually just go for 2 Dark Courtesans here. Try and take him down real early. Hard purge those 2 following. All right, Dark. Oh, I like that shield bash. Another Dark came up. Fine. Slash. Use a Duck and Weave to get past a Void in the deck. And drop 2 more cards and leave that Dueling Buckler in hand. Do I purge this Void? Are we going to be cycling another time? Yes, I purge the Void. Don't draw a response this turn. This is the only time I don't want to draw a response. Okay, thank you. Appreciative. In fact, I'm not even going to play Swift this turn because it has a 1 in 3 to draw a response. Try and get some extra energy for the next turn for the sake of the responses as well. Do I need those responses? I kind of need. You don't. Okay. Fine. I'll take the 14 rather, sorry, the vulnerability as well. Enemies not... Okay, good. Didn't attack last turn. They are attacking this turn, but that really ought not matter. I imagine we've probably got the kill by then. Yeah. Swift Blade and Hidden Blade for the kill. Let's get the Opportunist upgraded and pop it into the deck over a slash. Opportunist now feels like a good opportunity for the yellow Voidstone, being a card that I definitely want cast multiple times as an attack. Hidden Blade was going to be the red Voidstone. Yeah, this is going to be... Hidden Blade can still be like setup, whereas Opportunist is always execution. And oftentimes I will also need defense after using Opportunist. Okay, rinse and repeat. The Dragon Mother inflicts burning and vulnerable. Fine. Saw the Whelp before. Ooh. Oh my god. Well, we now generate like 4 shivs often. Hidden Blade, sorry, often. Start with the Duck and Weave just to get past the Void. I might just purge every other card from hand for the sake of that burning. And I'll do the 20 damage and then purge the rest of them. I'll play out the Void as well. Don't want to redraw that. Thank you for all the Hidden Blades. Do we have any setup that's relevant to that in this hand? No. Play the Dueling Buckler and then boom, 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 boom. Heck. Let's go for another boom. Opportunist for 90 damage there against a single target. The Goat, the Vulture, and the Game. The killer of these is important because, yeah, at the start of its turn, if the threat is not 0, the creature will gain AP +1. So I want to kill the Goat first so that the Vulture doesn't buff. Alright, kill the Vulture first. Seems reasonable. I feel like I'm going to want that Duck and Weave. I'm just going to play out the Void. Alright, because killing one of these, yeah, this is not... We're going to be a 2-cycler here. Also, I've got to make sure that I have enough energy by the time we get Response to play Response. Rough. I just have to eat damage this turn, I think. Response. Hard purge the rest of them, play a Response. And cop my 5 lumps. God, that turn really bad. Okay. Let's go Swift Hand. Hey, that drew a defensive card. I'm happy to see it. Purge those 3 slashes. Play 1 for that kill easily. Gonna have to draw a card and then discard that card so I can play a bite as well. This is the Shield Bash, that I'm about to play. Or just totally ignore that and be fine. Use the double resummon this turn. 2 of them is intended to attack. And look, here's Opportunist, already set up. 28. That's... Oh, okay, right. So all of them have to be bleeding for the sake of the Opportunist, which is actually completely fine. I have no problem setting that up. In fact, just give me a couple seconds here. Oh, there we go. Good fight. Wait, is Mithril Blades good? Or is that a trap? All hidden blades trigger +2 times on the upgrade. No, it's extra scaling. Whether or not I put it in the deck immediately is a completely different issue, but it is extra scaling and I do want it. Sidestep. It's long past overdue to upgrade and then Black Voidstone the sidestep. Swift Hand does feel like a blue Voidstone kind of deal. I could use the Hidden Blade to draw and discard my entire deck if I wanted to. God, that's not a bad idea. Just misses out on the rage. How do I scale against the Void? Bleed? Like slow bleed gain? Fine. We're doing it. I need more ability to get to the specific cards I need. And if that's how we get it, that's how we get it. There's the Veiled Watcher. Yeah, they become stronger as we draw out weakness cards. Alright, let's finally change to Energy Tap. It's very long overdue. Gain 25% rage a number of times equal to the number of weakness cards in your deck and discard. Add 2 Banes to your discard. So this would be if I wanted to really just like rush down the kills, but that's not going to happen at this point. The enemies have too much HP for me to do that. Opportunists. Interesting. Every 3rd Swift card played will cause all creatures to suffer bleed 2. So I imagine that means the Opportunist will not trigger the bleed across all of them and then deal its damage. It seems unlikely. Very unlikely, in fact. Maybe I leave the Opportunist in hand for next turn. Yeah, the longer I stare at this screen, the more reasonable that feels as a play. Forgot that that wasn't gonna work. Fine, just gonna do as much damage as I can there. Yeah, I was trying to gain combo off of the Slash as an opener, but unfortunately I tried to play a different card first for some reason. I'm certain there was a reason out there. You assume, at least. Honestly, I probably only need 1 response. Is that true? That's not true. Play 1 response. Then search those 2, playing the other. I really want to leave a Dueling Buckler in hand here. No, I need as much space as possible to try and find just any combo gain. Anything. That'll do it. That'll definitely do it. Okay. Start with slash, and then pop a quickness in for good measure. A swift hand as well. And we kinda just go. Until there's no more going to go. Bide never leaves this deck. As I continue cutting more of the slashes, the bide becomes only more important. It might not be something I play every time, but every time I play it, it is exactly what I needed. Right? If nothing else, this is an artifact. Beast of Malice dealing damage to this creature can increase its already serious damage output, but you'll have to go on the offensive eventually. That's fine. It is a single target by itself, so I probably got to spend 3 turns in a row hitting it, but as long as I set up well with like the responses and stuff beforehand, I should be okay. Hopefully I got energy. No, energy tap's not up yet. Oh, that's interesting. All of these are really good. So like Clockwork is just more damage. Although, I don't know if it can return a volatile card. It might be able to. Regardless, that discarded keys gives me the ability to get my response out on turn 1. I lose 1 energy on turn 1, so I'm down to... Yeah, it's discarded keys, because I draw 6 cards, so it's... Like, I'd have to draw so many voids before it would be bad. Yeah. Touch that. Response. Also make sure that we get the Wizard Hat triggering at the end of this turn, giving us an overcharge. Okay, here's Swift Hand. Every point resets to 1. Okay, so I can deal 25 damage a turn without giving it any frenzy. I do like using the weaken on the enemy for a bunch of turns here. $32 takes you to 52. If we do that, we're just going. We're just going. Leave the opportunist in hand at that rate. Purge the duck and weave. Yeah, we're just going. Gotta make sure that I have some combo gain in the next hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's only 9 cards left in the deck. I draw 6 cards a turn. It's impossible for me not to draw some access. Yeah. Easy. Worked out very, very well in the end. Okay, finally! We've hit a shrine. We can get rid of these 2 voids. Just want to do that again. And got a lot easier the first time we did that. Okay, the Berserker. They get stronger for every 0-cost card I play and have the ability to gain Fortitude. Oh. It's fine. As long as I don't draw a garbage open hand here. And it's significantly less likely for me to do so now with the voids already out of the deck. I might hold both of these. I don't care about how many 0-cost cards I play. It's the Berserker here, right? This creature will gain +1 frenzy for each 0-cost card played. Hang on. At the end of his turn, will reduce Frenzy to 2 and gain AP equal to the Frenzy lost. However, if I intend to kill you, I don't know, round about now, that doesn't matter. It ain't got time to matter. Now that everyone's bleeding, let's do one of those. Leave the sidestep here in hand as well, just in case. Oh, thank you for all the attacks. Well, I'm gonna play the dueling buckler first then, because the threat incoming is 0. Most of the damage incoming is from the runic pyramid over on the left. So, runic pillar over on the left. Right, sorry. Again, cannot tell left from right. It's Rhapsody lore at this point. Significant prevention of incoming damage. Ooh. That all went really, really haywire near the end. I accidentally used the wrong card. I used a bleeding card instead of just an instantaneous damage card. Not going to cause any drastic impacts, but still. Really? 48 there. So I'm missing out on vulnerability? Yeah, I don't need to play another swift attack. All right. I feel like we really brought this deck back around. We're starting to struggle near the middle of Act 1. And we seem to have rectified that. Each time you target her with an attack card, she'll reflect damage back to you. Also gains frenzy as the fight goes on. So yeah, this is another one of the fights that I just have to get super powerful and overwhelm her, because there is no strat in this deck other than overwhelm people with attack cards. When 10 cards play deal 10 damage to all enemies. Do I want that though? Do I want that though? Is the thing. Bloody Ledger. Each time you kill a non-minion creature, your spell will come off cooldown. I have a very, very high cooldown spell. And it's quite useful. Saves a lot of energy. Do I need the energy? Torch of Triumph is AoE. I like the supplemental AoE this proposes. Okay. I think I'm just going to put a quickness in this hand. Yeah, I like that. Use the sidestep for no block. Play double response and double quickness. We end on 0 energy, getting the overcharge for the next turn. However, we now have 3 combos set up, as well as anytime the enemy attacks, I can attack them back for significantly more. Each time you draw a Bane, this creature increases its frenzy by 1. It's a shame I can't really do anything about those. I need the enemy to start attacking. Please. Damage me. I must die. It's important. Okay, the enemy is now actually doing an attack here. Thank you. I'm going to use a slash because that doesn't do anything because of the hex. Now I have the ability to go Hidden Blade into Hidden Blade into Hidden Blade into Hidden Blade. Dueling Buckler, and then 1 underhanded tactics at the end. Just get a bunch of weakness on the enemy. This one will cost me some HP though. Getting rid of both of those Banes. I don't want to draw them again. Ooh, next gem up is rigged. What do a rigged card do for us? We draw another card off of playing this Opportunist here. In fact, we also block actively while we're doing it, making that a lot easier to do. Now that I also have no combo, though, I am extremely reliant on drawing just some damage. Or the enemy electing to attack me. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to rely on the damage. Nice. If we can end it with a Hidden Blade, we really ought. Master, a bunch of potions. Let's look at the map. I'm extreme. No. There's an artifact shop there. I'm not. I don't need it. Book of Arcane Secrets. At the start of your turn, you'll gain an additional energy. Also, the trusty snack, overcharge grants +2 energy. Starting from battle round 3, your max combo is increased by 1. Wow. That's actually, again, way better for us. Overcharge grants 2 energy. It's also not bad. Helps us with some of our energy problems, but we can go for the Oversized Knife and the random artifact. That treated us so well last time. Wishbone, each time you draw a Bane, draw 1 card. Yeah! I mean, that just means any enemy who tries to counter with your Banes is, well, barking up the wrong tree, apparently. I'm going to want the Bite in hand next turn. Probably going to play it for free with the ability as well. Oh, yeah, this is the turn you decide not to attack. I understand. I understand. I guess I do just want to purge the rest of those as well. Next combo got increased by 1. You'll love to see it. Let's Swift Hand our way past that Void. I mean, do I want to use Dueling Buckler? I probably don't need to at all, even slightly. Okay, there we got the quickness. Great. Don't need the other one. Don't need that either. Okay. That's some opportunist damage right there, though. I mean, the mainliner is taunting. Okay. It's the best thing to do, though. Even if I have to lose as much as I did in order to do it. All 4 of my combo stacks. Shame to miss out on those. But at least we got the kills. Lacerations, each time bleed triggers, it'll be increased by 2. I don't think this is really a lacerating deck. I think Bide has a... I totally think Bide has a place in this deck. I think Bide gives me the ability to cut another slash right now, and I think it's exactly what I need. I'd love to upgrade it as well. I don't know if I'll get the ability. In fact, what just happened? I just lost the ability to go something, but I can't remember what it was. God, I hope it wasn't important to me. At the start of your turn, take this value up by 1. When it reaches 2, increase your max energy by 1. We'll reset to 0. Yeah, it's not really relevant, rather. The first card you play in a turn... Sorry, if the first card you play in your turn costs 0, draw a card. Not bad. Gain an upgrade point after each perfect encounter. I mean, I don't really have the ability to spend this on anything else at that point, so... Sure. Let's go for the final cleansing. Got those voids out as well. Alright. Looking back at the deck manager now. Excuse me. Excuse me. Deck manager. Excuse me. Deck. No, never mind. Alright, I'm gonna go here and look at the deck manager. Blood bags. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, this is just another fight where I have to overwhelm them, basically. What do I want? What do I want in the opening hands? I can rig something. If I get a perfect fight here, I have the ability to get an upgrade as well. We are going to cut the other slash for the bide. I forgot to do that, but it's definitely what I'm doing. Maybe I also put another dueling buckler in there instead of another slash. At that point, I am very much exclusively killing an enemy based off of... what? Based off of my hidden blades. So at that point, why isn't mithril blades in the deck? It should be. I can't make an innate, though. I don't want it in the opening hand, ideally, actually. I guess, like, purple voidstone in bide's not bad. No, but oftentimes I hold the bide. Something I relatively play. Or regularly play, rather. There's the planned strike. That was supposed to be over one of the slashes, right? So it's one of my swift executions, but it draws a bunch of cards, and then I get my swift back pretty easily with the cards that I have in hand. So how much of this deck actually gains us combo? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 6, 7. 7 of the cards out of the 21 cards in this deck do it. That could be a lot worse. Okay. Oh my god, there's the mithril in the opening hand as well. I mean, I'm going to be playing this quickness anyway, so let's use this, draw a card. It's Opportunist. I like Opportunist here too. I have to be pretty harsh with that, though. So Blood Rage has every attack card played against the Blood Hive will increase the minions' AP, all minions' AP by 1. At the same rate, I'm almost entirely certain the right move here is just go. Enemy becomes vulnerable after the first attack anyway. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, cool. We did the best we can this turn. Land strike. Land strike? What? If overcharged. I wasn't overcharged. I took for granted I was going to be overcharged already. Of course I'm not overcharged on turn 1. How would I be? Quickness is a great first card on this turn, followed up by just a bit of lethal here. Okay, that lethal makes it really easy to... Oh no! What happened? 2 random void stones. Okay, that actually might be exactly the salvation we need here. We also get an upgrade. The planned strike draws twice as many cards with this upgrade. It's just exactly the card that needs to be upgraded here if we're going to be doing it. Like, Mithril Blades is nice, but planned strike is planned strike, and planned strike is exactly what I kind of need here. Okay, we got... Yikes. Not necessarily exactly what I wanted to see here, but... If I cut a... maybe even Mithril Blades. Yeah, Mithril Blades actually seems a little unimpactful without the upgrade right now. If I cut that Mithril Blades, and instead I put into the deck this Hidden Blade, it's inert, damn. I mean, the other Hidden Blade doesn't have to keep the Cypher, the cycle that it has on at the moment, the same impact. The reason is because then if I put the overcharge into that, I will never not be overcharged for the sake of the planned strike. Yeah. Solves a problem. Planned strike is also a huge amount of draw. So why not pair that with some block? Okay. The first 2 cards played will trigger +1 times. That is going to mean my whole hand is just going to be volatile blades. It is going to be very difficult to see anything over all of my volatile blades. Spawn with 1 less frenzy. Yeah, it's almost certainly Blessing of Preparation and the Blessing of Efficiency. We'll go for the Preparation first. Star Council. My HP creatures have the ability to go immune after being a target of a number of attack cards. They also prevent me from saving up cards in hand. That's not problematic for us. Immune. Immune means I can still attack them, but they can't be damaged by it, right? God, I hope it means that. So the planar shift is after being the target of 2 attack cards, they become immune. Right, that makes sense. There's our bide. Happy to see it. Great. We've also got opportunists. Okay, actually, we have a whole turn in this hand. It's quickness into opportunist. Giant amount of damage across the board. I get to attack each of them once more with a hidden blade after I bide. Kind of want to actually leave the second bite in the next hand as well. 1, 2, 3. Then they're all immune, but I still have the ability to target someone. That is huge. Oh, God. Wait, no. These, hang on. Your hand will be automatically discarded at the end of the turn. Okay, fine. I miss out on those 2 this time. Really didn't want to miss out on the planar shift. Not planar shift, the preparation strike. Preparation strike? I think it was called preparation strike. I could be wrong. Yeah, this isn't going to be a great turn. Oh, never mind. It's a great turn again. Got the, good old opportunist there. Do I keep a shield bash? There's certainly worse things. Can't keep it, of course. That's fine. I still have full energy, so it's not like it impacted me not to have done that. Whetstones won't be triggered here, though. Does that matter? A little bit. Does matter a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just do a bunch of damage to nothing again. Hard Purge. If we perfect this fight, we get to upgrade another card in the deck. Got my eye on a couple. There's the planned strike. Seems like exactly what we want to use. Sidestep. Interesting. Just 20 block by itself right there because of the overcharge and the fact that we keep purging all these cards with the amount of draw that we have. I really like this deck. Okay, so hang on. Okay, I can't see how many times I've attacked each of these. I don't really have a counter tracking it. but I'm pretty sure I attacked each of the outside ones and not the inside. Extremely overfill my hand here. Use a bide and a quickness to immediately get back up to full value. Actually, I'll use this quickness for the rage. Fine. Okay, this one's immune, but opportunity still strikes. Even more bide right there. And exhaust the rest of the cards. Great. Okay. I feel pretty confident now that we can get this. I feel it's more likely than not at this point that we managed to get this kill without taking any damage. Gotta get rid of all of those just to make sure that I draw as many cards as possible here. Because the deeper we get in the deck, never mind, we're fine. More likely we are to draw specifically. Where are you? Opportunist, there we go. Anyway, just harkening back to a conversation I had earlier in this run, I don't understand how anyone can think I'm addicted to draw. Anyway, where is my opportunist in this hand? I can't see it amongst this whole deck I'm holding. Oh, there it is. We found you in the end. Oh? That doesn't count? After each perfect combat encounter? I guess these aren't combat encounters, they're Vault Guardians. Alright, Blessing of Efficiency. It's all up to you. Godspeed, Puppet Master. If the fight prolongs, the Banes will become overwhelming. Yeah, that makes sense. Anything I need to change about my deck for this? Not really. Not that I can identify. Love that hidden blade in the opening hand here. Let's start with a slash. Hero out the response. Play a quickness as well. Play sidestep rather than purge it, just for the sake of incrementing the Torch of Triumph, because it gives me an energy anyway. Then play a response. Great, we got 4 overcharge now. So we're already very, very set up for the possible draw. A billion cards here. Yeah, there's the planned strike. Enemy's already vulnerable, so we'll go hit with all of those happily. And then planned strike to draw out the entire deck. The creature's frenzy is equal to 1 plus the number of Banes currently in your hand. Well, nice work. You got one equal to 2. Opportunist. You know, Opportunist doesn't seem bad right now, just in terms of raw damage output. Ah. To discard some of these Banes, if possible. Prevent the whole incoming apocalyptic amount of damage that appears to be on my plate. Weaken the enemy now. Yeah, I can block 45 damage next turn just with the 3 cards I have in hand at the moment. No problem. There you go. And give him one of those. Heck, turns out I don't even need to use all the cards I have in hand. Maybe I should have held that bide just so I could refill after a possible draw. Not certain. Not certain, but I know we've got that kill right there. All right, in terms of the deck manager, are there any two things in this deck that I want to rig right now? There is nothing I've really been impressed with putting in my opening hand yet. Yep, I think we're just ready for the fight. We'll release the souls. Check our spellbook just in case. Blood, give me blood. Target creature removes all bleed. You heal for that much? No. It can also set up bleed on the enemies, but still no. So here's the big problem that we have right now. I have no weak. I have no slow in this entire deck. It's possible that we just die because the enemy has so much HP and I have none of that. I do have a lot of damage mitigation. Hopefully it turns out to be enough. But we'll see. It might not. It's the first 2 cards played that trigger 2 times, so now I'm getting 8 anytime the enemy intends to attack. 8, 8, 8. I'm gonna hold the plan strike, I think. It's too good. It's too good. You don't turn that down. Swift hand. Love it. Also, shield for the extra vulnerability. We could try and stack some bleed on the target. It's not wildly out of order. You know? I like that bide a lot right now because it gives me the ability to fill back up after the planned strike. Okay. Let's refill the entire hand here. Use a bide and a quickness. I know that hidden blade goes out there, but the thing is, I'm struggling now. I mean, look, underhanded, I can get a bunch of weak out on the enemy. But is the enemy going to be attacking for 2 more turns in a row? And if so, like, does that even matter? Maybe I go bleed. Just try and heavy stack their bleed. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me. Yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, I said I'm doing it immediately after I had done it, so I'm did it, I think is what I meant to say. What was that, 500 damage in basically a single turn right there? It's probably about 200 damage a turn. Okay. Great, love it. We'll start out with the bide. Hidden blade right into the planned strike to draw out the rest of the deck. We'll play a bide, quickness, and the other quickness in order to refill. Keep the enemy vulnerable. I've been going with the bleeds, but the bleeds occur constantly. 115 versus 25 bleed. It's the 115 damage every time. Every time. I cannot see it any other way. Okay. Absolutely love to see this. We start out with a slash into a quickness and then other quickness, and now we basically do not want to play any cards that actually consume our swift. We keep the enemy vulnerable. And we just cast Hidden Blades. God. Oh, actually, no, there's 2 bites still left in the deck. I can totally cast both of these. And in fact, I should have had no worries at any point about the enemy's power level. We escaped the power level of this game a while back. It's going to take me a while before I start recognizing in real time that that has happened. But we'll get there. Combo. Combo. A combo. And end him with the opportunist. It only makes sense. Hell of a run right there. In terms of our card mastery, you know what it had to be. Get that hidden blade in there for the moment. My name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Vaulted the Void. There's a playlist in the description down below with all of my content on this game, past, present, and future, as well as the Steam page that you can go to wishlist the game, as well as the developer's Discord. All of that found in the description down below. For the moment, though, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.